Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to yet another episode of our Friday the 13th retrospective review series. I say ladies and gentlemen, I have a feeling the ladies probably aren't coming in droves to watch a Friday the 13th review series, but who knows? All are welcome. But yeah, I'm once again joined by Paul.
Thank you.
Yeah. And so, Paul, what have you been doing since the last week, 5 minutes ago when we recorded the last week's episode?
Oh, accidentally watching number 6.
Okay.
Okay. We have these things called Paul's Problems, and that was one of them. They uploaded wrong in how I get the movies, and so I started number 6 without realizing it.
Okay.
COVID cocktail disease, I guess. And then I realized what was happening. So I've gone back to the future.
Hey, speaking of Back to the Future. George McFly makes an appearance in Friday the 13th, the final chapter.
He does.
Which I'm going to go out on a limb and just start this by saying that this is far and away my favorite of the series so far.
Oh, skip. I would almost say skip number 3. The only thing about the only good things about number 3 that we said were, harpoon death and how he gets his mask. And I mean,
sure,
you could explain that in about 10 minutes.
Yeah, that's about all it has going for it. Now, number 4, we've got a single mother and her 2 children who are living in a house out kind of by Crystal Lake, we're assuming.
Yeah.
And there's kind of a rental cottage that's next door. Kids come rent it for the weekend or whatever.
Yeah.
So a batch of teenagers, including George McFly, Crispin Glover, rent out the house. And Jason shows up and, does his thing. He does his thing. And this one, for some reason, they did a little bit of the, kind of 80s kid movie type stuff with Corey Feldman's character. To kind of make you a little bit invested, at least in his family, right?
Yeah. He has the whole prop mask thing going on, and I think he shows some masks from other horror movies. At least a couple of them looked familiar. It's pretty cool. 80s kids room.
I was assuming that does he make those? He makes those things, right?
Yeah.
Isn't it like his hobby? Yeah. So there's a little bit there. I love the opening of this. We're in a hospital. It reminded me a little bit of Halloween 2. Jason is not actually dead. He gets up. He starts killing people. We've got, the cheesy scene with the guy trying to get laid and Jason's body's kind of behind him and his arm falls out. There's just... It gets all the fun shit that you expect to see in these 80s slasher movies. You've got your TNA is in here in droves. You've got dumb kids who you're kind of excited to see killed. I would even say there was actually a character in Crispin Glover's character, and they're like the different kids have like qualities that separate them. So. Far and away the best one so far.
Yeah, the overbearing mom as well, which is perfect for that whole era of movies. This one is 1984. Number 3 was 1982. As far as the time of the times, or whatever you want to say.
So they actually took time on this one instead of cranking one out every year. They actually took an extra year on this one.
Yeah.
I thought Jason looked really badass in this. Again, same guy did the soundtrack, Harry Manfredini. So one of these days I'll get that right. But yeah, the one thing I thought was funny, as we're just kind of talking about random stuff in the movie, though, Pamela Voorhees, is her grave like right next to a road that?
Yeah. I was gonna say, unless because I watched, that mistakenly jumped ahead movie, I couldn't remember for sure. But yeah, in the beginning of this movie, then they drive by her grave, and the girl notices it, and she's kind of staring at it like, I don't think she knows per se, but she's just driving by a graveyard, is creeping her out.
what an odd place for her grave to be. And I'm assuming then can you refresh me? What happened with Jason's little shack?
No one knows. It to my knowledge, it has not been addressed.
Okay, so basically her headless corpse is in that grave then. We are led to assume.
No, I don't think so, because if he died at the end of number, I don't know, maybe he did or didn't take her head with him.
Well, he had her head. Her head was in the refrigerator in part 2, right?
Yeah.
And then her head is on top of the sweater, right? Or is that
yeah, but that's before he gets the machete to the shoulder, and the girls at the end going into the ambulance. So they never really explore what happened to Jason at the end of that movie, because wasn't it at the end of number 3 that she's in the canoe and his mom pops up instead?
Oh, geez. I see. That's funny. We just watched 3. Gone. Just gone. I have no clue.
At the end of number 3, instead of Jason coming up behind the canoe, it's his mom. And then she's all maggots and stuff, and then they never go not yet. They haven't gone back to the mom. So I don't know where the head is right now.
Can we safely assume that outside of the hockey mask, part 3 can just be entirely thrown in the garbage at this point? Like we don't have to address anything. Like, is it even part of the canon? I guess it has to be because of the mask, right?
That's the only reason I can think of at this point. Yeah.
Yeah. So part 4, like I said, they do some character stuff. We get another kind of the hero character that shows up. He claims to be going bear hunting
with a 22 rifle.
Right. But there's a little romance brewing between him and Corey Feldman's sister that you can kind of feel. He is there because his sister was killed. Now, was his sister the part 2 main character or part 1?
I don't know, to be honest with you. I don't know if they give him a last name to link to it or not.
Well,
to be honest with you.
Therein kind of creates the problem, is that these movies aren't doing a great job of making you from film to film care about what happened in the last film. They're very much singular pieces of entertainment. Now, if I remember correctly, Corey Feldman's character has an arc that goes through multiple movies. So this is going to be where we kind of get the character who we get to root for as Jason's nemesis, I think.
Okay. I could see that. They kind of left it at the end of the film. They left it open-ended as far as what's going to happen with this kid.
Yeah, and we get some really fun deaths in this, I would say, too.
Yeah, that's some good ones.
Yeah, there's one that involves like a projector. One of the kids at the cottage, the rental cottage, finds a projector. Crispin Glover's character does end up getting laid, which was a little forced. I didn't really understand that.
That girl was something else, I'll tell you.
Yeah. So we get some twins in this. Yeah. So we get some twin girls, good looking twins. We meet them skinny dipping. There's a big skinny dipping scene in the movie. They go back to the cottage. All the guys are trying to get laid, matching up with different partners. I liked the kill in the boat too. I thought that was pretty good when Jason reaches up and kills the girl in the boat.
Yeah.
Or is it a boat? No, it's like a
little raft.
It's a raft, right?
That doesn't deflate. It's a run flat.
I thought about that. So I'm thinking its design is that only the outside has air and the middle is just like a sheet of plastic.
I think it's one of those with two blowholes, one for the bottom and one for the outer.
There you go. Yeah, that could be
our solution.
But yeah, so there's typical teenager stuff. I jokingly, as watching it, kind of chuckled because Crispin Glover basically plays George McFly in this. He's the meek weakling character who just always running out of luck. He doesn't have any luck. He's just a sad guy,
his high school version, I guess. I mean, his adult version isn't that different, but I think if there was a parallel, it'd be him in his high school version from Back to the Future.
Yeah, it's a prequel to Back to the Future. It's like right before senior year. If Back to the Future he's in senior year, he survived. Now we know it's not a prequel because he gets brutally murdered, which I thought was fun. That like you're kind of thinking like, okay, this is going to be a character that lasts for a while at least. And then he just gets so unceremoniously killed. All of the kids in the cottage do, I believe. All of them.
The bottle opener to the hand. And
yes.
I would have screamed. I mean, if it's my hand, maybe not. I've been there where something happens and you're speechless. Not even getting the axe to the face or whatever it was.
Yeah, I want to go over the deaths quick. Because I think there were some good ones.
The only thing I remember about this movie, watching it again, is like, oh, I know exactly what's going to happen next. Is that hippie girl on the side of the road eating a banana gets a knife through the neck. That's the only thing I remember about this movie. I don't know if I saw it 10 seconds during when it was on TV. I have no idea, but that's all I remember.
Yeah, that was great. The groin stabbed with the spear gun was good.
Number 3, we forgot the whole splitting him in half when he's doing the handstand. That was a good death.
Oh, yes.
And him on the ceiling with his legs and all contortion. Anyway, staying on track. That was...
Yeah, so by the way, part 3, we had 12 deaths. Okay, well, let's just do a death count of the series so far. So we've got 10 in part 1, 10 in part 2, 12 in part 3, and then this one has 14. So what are we up to? We're up to 32 plus 14. We've got 46 deaths thus far. We've got, Jason is counting as a death in this. So if we're not counting Jason, we're going with 45. Jason does get it pretty good. I mean, Corey goes pretty nuts on him at the end with the machete.
Yeah, you should add the death count to our notepad.
Yes, we should keep a running death count. That's true. We're amateurs here.
Maybe not per movie, if you just a total running count.
Total.
But Corey Feldman goes a little wild on him, and I like the aspect of him doing what happened kind of in number 2, where they appeal to the psyche of Jason.
Yes, I really liked that. And they actually set it up because he's reading about the kid in a newspaper. And he brilliantly goes and kind of like chops his hair off. So he looks like Jason. And then he goes out there and he confronts Jason. And Jason kind of, he's a mongoloid, so he kind of like doesn't understand where he is, whatever. He's very childish. He's basically a child in a gigantic man's body. And he's confused by it. He gets tricked. His face gets ripped off, and we see his face, or his mask gets ripped off. We see his face again. Yeah. And I believe it has changed again.
Now, I think this is because... Now, I don't know if he's come back from the dead at this point in the series, but I don't know. I mean, looking at his nails look pretty bad. I mean, I guess, that plastic surgeon haircut didn't include the nail people at that time for the pedicurist or whatever. But he does look different. And I don't know, it is what it is for the series for continuity, but he does look a little different.
He absolutely needs a shower. I mean, he is looking rough. He's got a big axe hit in his head now from part 3. So is he human at this point?
Yes, because I don't think he has officially died yet.
Okay. I think I'm assuming this is a real death we're getting at the end of this one. He got killed in this. I mean,
yeah. Corey Feldman gave his sister a hug. He saw the hand start to twitch, and then he went to town with the machete.
Go ahead.
The machete thing, I think he just machetes just happen to be around in these houses because there's no one machete. The machete from number 1 that Jason holds dear to his heart, which I thought was going to be part of the plot line. The whole series.
It's like Freddy with his glove, right? It's like his weapon that he had. Yeah. And that's not the case.
No, it's just the machetes just happen to be there. And he's like, oh,
people love hey, you gotta get that brush when you're going through the forest. You gotta be able to cut down all the branches, I suppose.
Right.
Yeah, I like the end of this too. Again, it reminded me of a Halloween movie, number 4 or 5, I think it is, when Jamie Lloyd is the character, and basically one of the Halloween movies ends with her with like the Halloween costume that child Michael Myers wore when he killed his family, and she's got the knife. So this one ends with Corey Feldman. It almost seems like where they're going with this is that he is going to be the twisted one.
Yeah, so he's suffering from his parents divorcing. He's moved to a strange house. He's into this kind of, what are we, 1984. So he's into this taboo-ish hobby of making these creepy masks. And he goes through this horror which is, precedented with everything that happened, but also him reading all these articles about Jason. And then he actually commits the crime of killing someone.
Yes.
So I mean that's quite a lot in the blender for this young man.
Right, and we even get a scene when the sister wakes up in the hospital where the doctor is talking to her about, oh, he's going to be okay, but he's got some PTSD or whatever, and he kind of creepily walks into the room, gives her a hug, and then I want to say it ends with him like staring into the camera, all creepy, like, what comes next?
Yeah, there's time for her to get an IV and get cleaned up, and he looks like he just walked out of the cabin. Like, get this kid some new clothes or anything.
no, yeah, that would make too much sense.
Yeah, so movies, he still looks the same. He still has his creepy haircut, which wouldn't have grown back, but makeup. He put dark makeup on his eyes, and
he's turned emo. He started the trend. In this movie. Now, just random fun stuff. Do you remember what was it that the dickhead high school kid called Crispin Glover that made him so upset?
A dead fuck.
A dead fuck, yeah. So that's another thing. And it's funny, you laugh, but like it does make you laugh watching the movie. It's effective in its own cheesy, stupid way. I can't take a time machine back to the time when this came out to find out if anyone took this seriously, but as a film that you don't take seriously, I actually had quite a lot of fun.
Oh, this one, they're climbing the hill, I think, at this point after number 3. But yeah, and then he gets back at him where he shows him the panties after he gets his action. And he's like, oh, you should put this in your computer.
Oh yeah. Yeah, he runs a computer program. Oh, you're a dead fuck. Whatever. Yeah. It must be running it on DOS back then, or I don't know what the operating system was in '84. But yeah, I'm excited to see where we go next. Now, you cheated a little bit. You've watched a little bit of part 6, but any predictions for part 5? Any thoughts on what you're expecting out of part 5 here?
Part 6 that I accidentally started gave me really no details of what may happen in number 6 here, or what are we at? Sorry,
we're at 5.
Sorry, in number 5. So I don't know. I think it might focus on this Corey Feldman thing and how it affects him. The only spoiler is that he's this new maybe protagonist.
Right, or antagonist. I mean, we don't know. He could be the new Jason for all we know. Now, let's see. Is he in part 5? I don't even know. I'm going to look up the cast right now and find out if he is in it.
Yeah, I feel like I've committed enough sins. I don't want to watch the trailer. I don't want to do anything beyond the movie poster.
I'll just tell you if he's in it. So I am looking at the cast. I am seeing, yes. Corey Feldman is in the movie. So,
and this is 1 year in 1985. So this is a year later.
Okay.
I made a playlist of the movies to fix my error, so they are in the right order. I am slightly excited for Jason X, which takes place in 2045.
Have you ever seen it?
No.
I saw that one in the theater.
The only one that I remember being advertised and being in the theater is Jason Goes to Hell.
Okay.
That's it.
Okay. Yep. That was a home video one, but Jason X I did see in the theater, and we are in for it when we watch Jason X. It is something else.
Are we gonna go as far as Freddy versus Jason?
I mean, I was thinking we had to discuss that. Now, we could do, if we have enough fun with this, we could do Freddy next, and then the finale of both retrospectives is to watch Freddy versus Jason.
But what about where is it here? The 2009. Are we gonna skip the 2000 remake?
Remake.
2009, yeah.
Yeah, that's not related to Freddy versus Jason. So we could go ahead and cap off Friday the 13th with that.
And then we're not going to try and see if the fan-made ones are on YouTube.
Oh, we're going to do the fan. We could do a fan-made YouTube episode and just bunch them all together and talk about them.
I think there's 2, and I don't know where they're available yet. I haven't done my research.
Well, hey, you go do that research. Make sure you watch those YouTube ones in the right order, though, Paul.
Yeah,
very important that they get watched in the right order.
Yeah, between this and One Cut of the Dead, I'm never going to live a few things down.
I mean, what's next? What's next? Who knows?
That's the fun of Paul's problems. You don't know what's next.
That's true. Well, it adds an extra wrinkle. It makes it so as soon as I stop recording here, I'm going to go watch part 5 because I want to I'm jealous. I'm annoyed that you're farther along in the series than me, technically.
It was really good. I'll tell you. And
what you saw of it? You mean number 6?
Yeah, I got pretty far into it. but yes, it's no, number 6 is good. I'll have to start number 5. But so far, after that horrible number 3, they're definitely climbing a hill.
Yeah, like I said, typically I'm much harder on movies if you see our reviews on my channel or whatever, but you got to take movies for what they are. And I had a blast with this. I'd give this one an A-. I enjoyed the hell out of it. I had a lot of fun watching it.
Yeah, I can agree with you. This one was at a camp-ish. No, it wasn't. I'm sorry. This one was near the camp.
Right.
But no, it's good. Yeah, A- for sure. It doesn't add anything to him. So we got the mask on the last one. In this one, we don't get anything except maybe his death, right?
His death, right. Yeah. And we get other characters that you actually can remember. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Because so up to this point, they've basically been fodder in all aspects. There is nothing really about any of the characters that we met up to this point that is memorable at all. So at least now we have a character or two, we have a character or two that we actually can remember. And honestly, watching these, I was getting to the point, and I kind of talked about this on our podcast episode, where we discussed, The Platform was the movie we reviewed that week. But I did get into this in our shit we watch section where, up until this point, I didn't get why this is a beloved franchise. This one, to me, I understand it now. You know what I mean? Because it's fun. It's stupid fun.
He does run in this one. I think it was Michael who said he never runs. He runs in this one, for sure, to get his victim. I guarantee you that. I saw that. And then I guess the next question to ponder on is, can you be a fan equally of between these people, between these murders of Jason, Freddy, and Michael Myers?
Yeah, so far I've still got Jason in third on my list of favorite killers, I guess. Although the Halloween sequels suck, most of them. Pretty much all of them. I actually like the new one, but these, if they keep this going, as a whole, I would say I'd like this series as much or better than Halloween, taking out the first Halloween, which is like a classic, But
Yeah, up until now, for me, horror movies were just, spit and spatter.
Sure. Well, hey, we're gonna change that.
Yeah,
we
already have.
That's the plan. But yeah, hey, I think that about covers it. Is there anything before we sign off that I might be forgetting from this wonderful film?
Just that I ordered the mask, and I'm very excited to scare the hell out of my children with it.
There you go. Yeah, cause those nightmares for life. Now, just to kind of give a recap here, we're at 45 deaths, 46 if we count Jason. So
are we including his mother?
Let's take a look here. Let's take a look. I'm going to assume it does include. Yes, okay. We're including the mother. So if we take out the antagonist, we're at 44. There have been 44 victims of Jason and or his mother in the films. So that's where we're at. How high, I didn't cheat, by the way. I have not looked. How many deaths do you predict from part 1 through 10? How many deaths do you think there are going to be in the whole series?
I don't know. I'd say 175-ish.
Oh, so you think they're really going to ramp up?
I mean, it's maybe.
Okay.
Even about 10. Yeah, if they continue this trend, we'll see.
I'll go 127. That's what I'm gonna go with 127. I think a lot of people die in the really later ones because it just becomes, we don't even care anymore. We're just gonna kill people on screen. But not that they care deeply at this point. But yeah, that's all I've got. So Paul, where can everybody find you?
Yeah, excellent. I'm on the YouTube, search on YouTube, Tales from the Flipside podcast. We go live Monday nights about 9:30. And check out our channel, the playlists. We have a bunch of other stuff, sports cards, Golden Age comics, foreign comics from Global Comic Safari, and all sorts of stuff. So check us out if you're bored during this forced time of glorious isolation with your loved ones.
All right. Well, and I may or may not have just vaped with the sound on. I don't know if you heard that, Paul.
I didn't hear anything.
All right. Good. Well, maybe I missed it. But yeah, thank you. Again, I'm Jackson. You know where to find me. You're already here. Make sure you hit the subscribe button on both of our channels. And yeah, every week, every Friday for at least the next 6 or so Fridays, this will be a tradition. So thank you again for tuning in, and we will see you for number 5, A New Beginning, next week. So we've got the final chapter, then A New Beginning. So thanks again.
See ya.